And how is it going, everyone? Welcome to Touhou 16. I wanna start warming up for the upcoming Touhou game that apparently is gonna release in like a week. Depends on how soon when soon decides to put it into Steam. Now, I wouldn't say that it's been a while since I played a shoot 'em up, because I've been playing Ketsui off the stream, but it's been a while since I played Touhou. Personally gonna go for Reimu Fall here. Probably a very easy combination to start with. But it's also been a while since I stream a game with keyboard. Don't know if that's gonna be a problem or not. Hopefully not. Yeah, I think that it's been like around the time that I started, that I stopped streaming on Twitch, the last time that I streamed Touhou, I think. Something like that. I did stream it on YouTube, I think, a couple times. I can't remember which one though. Oh, I did stream 15, I remember. I streamed 15. Yeah, see, that's a way to waste a bomb. So to be honest, I intended to press release. I didn't though. It happens. That just simply going from right to left here is not enough to... Oh, nice. Not enough to dodge everything. Now this is a game that has always been a little bit hard to beat for me. Shouldn't be that hard using Fall. The best sub-season in the game, pretty much. But pattern-wise, it was always something that I struggled with. Not sure why, it just happened. And the extents in this game are score-based. Didn't remember that. I don't even know how... Well, scoring in this game is very closely tied to season release, but... I don't think... Well, it's just like in most Touhou games, it's not very straightforward to score at all. We will see though. Maybe something good's gonna happen. Also, I've been told that today apparently it's been 23 or 24. I think 23 years since Touhou 6 release. It was in 2002. That's cool. I mean, I should be playing that game probably, but the problem with Touhou 6 is that I kinda already did everything I wanted to do, so there really is not much I could do when I play it. I mean, aside from stuff that I already done. It's not just a matter of doing, you know, the fact that I already got the Lunatic one going clear a long time ago, but the fact that I got it with every single shot type in the game, that's the part that, you know, it's a little bit ridiculous. I don't have much to do because of that. I mean, I could go for something stupid like doing a perfect run of the extra stage. Fuck. I really need to get my muscle memory back together. Right now I'm struggling on that. Struggling to move, mainly. Doesn't Nemuno eventually stop shooting? Oh, well, she probably does, but not in this non-spell, huh? No, I think she might stop shooting in this one. The other one, I think it's just goes on. Yeah, okay, it's this one. See, my memory doesn't even remember these things. The other one is just an endless barrage. Really gotta... really gotta get used to a lot of things. The problem is that what doesn't help is that the game that I've been playing, the shoot 'em up that I've been playing all this time offline, is Getsui. Getsui works very differently than Touhou in terms of movement, so it's a problem. Oh, this one also stops after a while. It's that by now, with all the times that I did, my damage is very bad. I mean, I should restart already, it's just that I need a little warm-up run, you know? But it's not much of a warm-up if you cannot even get to stage 3. I think that my issue is that I'm not using release enough. I feel like as soon as you get release, you probably should use it, and otherwise get your finger ready to bomb, basically. It's been so long since... Well, actually, this game, it's been a year and a half, I think, since I played it, more or less. It wasn't that long, but long enough to not really remember shit. That was very bad. Alright, let's try that again. I probably should just use a continue if my idea is warming up. I guess I don't. Bombing is also part of the package, not just, you know, using release and dodging. Bombing helps too. Shame that I think Reimu bomb in this game is like the worst bomb in the game. But whatever. I mean, it's not that bad, it's just that every other bomb, for what I remember, is better. I'm not sure if Master Spark is that much better. I know that Aya and Cernos bomb are better. They essentially deal damage between spell card transitions. Very useful, by the way. Alright, so here, even if I go as slow as I can, it's still not possible to do this whole section here simply by slowly moving to the side. If you do it very slowly, it has to be enough. It is enough. Promise that you are left. I mean, you're left with a lot of annoying bullets as a reward. You're supposed to redirect the bullet stream. You're not supposed to sit there. So with that density, it's a little bit hard to redirect. Like even this hand positioning feels weird right now. That was bad. It's fine, don't worry. I'm fine. For now. Yes, for now. Indeed, for now. feel like when release is available and a bullet is approaching, I should always use it. At least if the bullet density is high. For example here, well, as long as you go up, you're gonna have some bullets to absorb. That's the whole point of the release system. You're gonna absorb bullets to cast it again. And the whole one is good for that. You gotta move. You cannot stay in one place. I wonder what variation of... looking at the leaderboards earlier, there was one variation of Reimu that got to stage 6. I wonder what variation it was. Maybe it was fall. So back then, I played this game a lot. It probably was another variation. Some random... I don't even know what hit me there. Some random variation that I don't usually use. Something that I like going for back then. Nowadays, not so much. But usually, even with the best variations, I still have a hard time, so I don't think it's the best idea to nerf myself more than I already am nerfed, you know. I am quite nerfed already, I don't think I need more. So I really fear for Touhou 20, because if I'm playing a game like this that is infinitely easier than that, this badly, there is absolutely no way 20 is gonna go well. Like, there is just no way. Alright. Have a lot of bombs. I'm not using bombs because I have the button in the... Well, the button. I mean the finger in the release button and not in the bomb button. The bomb button will be useful. This spell card is so disgusting. So hard to read. It's like, it's just random shit. Like, that's the spell card. You just have random shit, have fun. There's obviously a pattern, but it's one of those that even if the pattern is specific, the boss movement is what makes it so hard to follow, because the boss movement is RNG. That's the one thing about Touhou games compared to traditional shoot 'em ups. The biggest difference is the insane amount of RNG that these games have. Which I personally think that a lot of times make them more interesting, but also they make you want to rage a little bit more. Want to rage? No, it's like they make you rage more. It's not about wanting to. Rage is something that comes automatically. Alright, that was pretty bad, but I want to keep going. Obviously, if this was a serious run, I would have reset already. I will have reset back on stage 1. No, I need to get used to the game. I could have done that off the stream, honestly. A lot of times I do that. It's a game that I haven't played in a while and it needs practice. I should have done... Well, I did it with the first stage. exactly to see if at least the game works well. And yeah, the game works well. My brain doesn't work well though, that's the issue. I think that at some point you might become too old for Touhou, you know. Not saying that's the case for me, but at some point reacting to this stuff, but it's not just reacting. I feel like it also has a lot to do with being able to see it. A lot of these bullets feel like they are too small for me. It's whatever. This lily white here, differently from her Touhou 7 self, is actually reasonable. Surprisingly, considering the amount of shit that everything else shoots. I gotta say, it's pretty amusing with how badly I'm playing that I still have 3 lives on stock. Yeah, it just shows you how busted this combination is. You can play like shit and still have this many resources. Well, more than the combination is just fall. The fall sub-season is that messed up. That's it. That's the thing about it. Well, this spell card should be easier with Reimu actually. Well, with fall as well, if I wanted to do this. Maybe this combination might be a little bit overkill. I think that at this moment I need it. With any other combination, I don't think I'm getting too far. Well, there's also something else I should realize. The game doesn't really remember your bombs when you die. You're back at 3. That's a step backwards compared to 13. And I don't know about 14, I don't remember. 13, remember the amount of bombs you had after that. But I guess it was kind of a special mechanic of that game as well. We're gonna get bombed. And this will need some shit like that. Normally, something that you want to do in this spell is taking down the other half, but can be asked to do that. And to stage 4 with 3 lives, a little bit exaggerated. I really been playing like absolute shit, but the game doesn't seem to mind. It's the reason why I always, when people ask me what game I should start Touhou with, I usually tell them this one. Well, not all the time, but in terms of availability, since it's one of the ones on Steam, probably the easiest one you can play. Well, pretty much in any difficulty, simply because of the release system. You get just too many resources, and this run is not gonna go until the end at all. But it's just telling how messed up it is that I'm still this far and with this amount of resources. That being said, stage 5 is where things get very annoying. That's when the real shit starts. All of this is warm-up in itself for what the game is about to throw you. For what I remember, there wasn't even that much bullet density in stage 5, so you could use release, for example. So you can use release over and over, I'm trying to say. Good positioning, bro. I don't mind. I'll use bombs. This whole section is not easy. Okay. Well, this boss is not easy either. I mean, easier than what comes afterwards. A little bit annoying and also very gimmicky as well. Like some patterns are very easy if you know exactly what to do, like this one. Thankfully my memory remembers them still. This one, well, you could simply use release. It's a pattern with a lot of RNG. Using release is probably the best thing you can do. Ooh, for this one is not hard either, but my vision can't keep up. My vision used to be able to keep up with that. It's like the colors are mixing up a little bit too much, I feel. God damn it. Should I blame my new monitor? That's not a nice thing to blame my monitor. This one, the only problem it has is if Narumi decides getting closer. Otherwise it's basically just navigating through this, but if she gets closer you're not gonna dodge. That worked well. That didn't absorb as much as I was expecting. That's a problem. It's fine. You can choose bomb. Alright. Was she supposed to stay in the screen? I don't think so. I think that was a bug. Oops. It's okay. Soon wouldn't have bugs in his games, right? No way. Surely it was intentional. Surely. Oh, I don't have bombs. I was moving so confidently. Didn't even bother looking at my bomb counter, guess. With how little bombs I've been using, I assume that there will be bombs available. No, there were not. My bad. Make no mistake that this is the... Oh, that was a waste of release. This is the most brain-dead combination in the game. Using Reimu Fall like this is the most brain-dead by a long shot. Might not be the most optimal, Well, depending on what you're doing, I guess. A combination that requires zero thinking power. I actually want, I mean, simply because of the final spell card in the game, I don't think this is gonna go anywhere. But it's getting very far for being such a horrible run, you know? So I'm surprised. Right. 150 is the next extend. Are the extends, like, how far do they go? I don't remember who you were supposed to shoot down here, by the way. Because this fight is essentially cancerous. But it's slightly less cancerous depending on who you shoot, and I don't remember who that was. Something tells me it wasn't this one. Oh, too late now. So those lasers give you a lot of meter, actually. Well, if you use fall, it seems like the right idea. I shouldn't have bombed there. I just wanted to on my... Oh, and this spell card is extremely random too. Everything about those stars is random. The way they spawn, the way they move. The speed they move. How far they move. All of that is completely random. It's a very random spell card. Do I have bombs? So I have two. No problem. Lasers. But if it is about lasers, the fall release is very good for those. There's essentially no reason to not use it. Damn, this is insane. I'm actually probably gonna get this one coin clear in this horrible run. I mean, why not? I guess this is the reason why every time that I play this game I try to not pick fall. This is how runs used to look like. They look like a mess, but you still end up winning anyways. It's mostly... It's not just because of the survivability, it's also the insane amount of points you get. You get so many points. I thought I had bomb. Then I need to start looking at my bomb count more often. I just don't. Okay. I mean, at this point, the only thing that could stop me is the final spell card, which is most likely gonna stop me. We can skip this. Not trying to read dialogue that I cannot even read anyway. I shouldn't be daring like that. That I like these non-spells, it's just that they are very hard. So yeah, the smartest thing will be to not do what I just did. But yeah, I guess it is what it is. What is that if I were to play with another release that is not fall? I don't know which one I will even use. I think Winter apparently is another one that is very good. Simply because of DPS. It is one of the spell cards that is very good for almost any release, because if you wait long enough you can just use the release button with no issues. Okay. Oh, this is a very hard spell card actually. It's one of those spell cards you do not wanna do normally under any circumstance. I think this non-spell is simply moving to the side. Not like that though. Now that I think about it, that 80 million run in second place was most likely not fall. There is no way it was fall. I don't know if I wanna retry it with the same shot type though, yes. Like if I do another run but I'm more careful, I'll just get it for free, but I think that with any other shot type, the opposite will happen instead. Maybe for added difficulty I can bring Sarno. I could still use fall. So is this really added difficulty? Well, Sarno's bomb is only better if you use it in front of the boss face, which I could do, I guess. Actually, does it even give you iframes? It gives you starting iframes like any bomb, but I think it's a bomb that doesn't have iframes during the entirety of the duration. I don't remember. Well, since it erases bullets, you could stay inside of the bomb for its duration. Perhaps. That fairy almost killed me. handling myself better than I expected, but stage 1 is never a good comparison point for anything. That was a waste of release, god damn it. It's fine. Oh, I didn't have release. The moment I don't have bomb, I tried to bomb and I failed, but the moment I have no release, the same thing happens. God damn it, dude. I mean, it's hard to keep track of two things that are in two different places. I have to reset. This is what I wanted to avoid though, because the moment you start resetting like that is the moment that you will perform a lot worse every time. Wanted to avoid doing that. As you can see, maybe after all just go Reimu fall and that's it. God damn it. Well, that's also a reason why most likely the previous run went so far in the first place. Most likely because I didn't really do many resets before that at all. That's just the way it goes with shoot 'em ups. Well, and most games that have the concept of runs. The moment you reset it's over. You lost the magic. It's as I tell you. It's not a joke. Not a joke or an exaggeration. You reset once, the magic touch is gone. I could also go hyper aggressive on resource consumption as well. Not a particularly bad idea. Just that in the first stage there aren't that many bullets to use release and absorb back the release items. For example, even here it looks like she's firing a lot of bullets, but in reality it's not that many. Not that exaggerated. So using the release not gonna be that good of an idea. And that applies to most of this anyways. And there is another problem that Cerno has, and it's that her regular damage is absolute trash. Like, actual trash. Well, it's essentially the worst regular shot type in the game. Like, her bomb is nice, but essentially everything else is bad. This is the reason why, like, it will be a more interesting choice than Reimu that has a very strong shot type on top of using the fall sub-season. Using the fall sub-season on Cerno seems more reasonable as a more like balanced challenge. It's essentially like you're using the worst shot type with the best sub-season. With Reimu, even if she's not like literally the best shot type, well, depending on what you do. But for people that are not very good at the game, like me, Reimu is an amazing shot type. Because it essentially does everything for you with the auto aim. Wow, you timed that out, no way. Well, you can kinda see the issue. You can easily see the problem with Cerno. You're not supposed to time that spell out. Well, Aya's shot type is also pretty bad. I think this one is worse. I think that Aya's focus damage, even though not ideal, is not as bad as this. Because the thing about Cerno is, when we're talking about focus, there's not much of a focus in the first place. Like, the spread shot still spreads. You know? That part didn't really change. Tempted to bomb here. Probably shouldn't have, but whatever. So, actually, Cerno does keep iframes until the end of the spell card. I thought she didn't, but she does. And I'm assuming Aya will do as well. Because Aya and Cerno spell cards are extremely similar. Only difference is the range, kinda. Everything else is very similar, like very long duration spell cards, and if they miss, they don't deal any damage, basically. And you can miss them both very easily. Even more so Cerno's. Cerno's spell card is... yeah. No, not amazing by any means. But it can deal a lot of damage if you actually... Well, even if you don't really use it against the boss, it can deal damage because it lasts a long time, and during that time you can, like, shotgun the boss. And I think the shot type is very good at shotgunning. Well, I mean, if it isn't this shot type, which other one would it be? I guess Aya. Aya is not bad at shotgunning either. This one is probably better. The problem is that every other pattern is gonna go to a timeout. That's the issue. The moment you don't use bomb, trying to get a pattern normal is most likely not happening. Damn, I really had to fail it right at the end. You really had to do it like that. But another good thing about the Cerno's bomb is that it gives you a lot of release items, depending on the bullet density, of course. She just refuses to go down. And the thing is that this game also has very low time down, I mean time out, times, for lack of a better word. It's essentially very easy for Cerno to time out like it's nothing. I can't believe that. You did that on purpose to piss me off. There is no other reason for you to kill me on the last frame. You just did that to piss me off. It was deliberate. a specific clause in the code that did that on purpose. I can't believe it. Very evil of you. I lost 2 bombs. Could have been worse, but especially compared to the trash that the previous runs were. Well, the trash in terms of how many resources I spent, or what I spent, not even spent, that I wasted by not using them. So kinda like the opposite of spend. Almost got spawn killed by those bullets. Almost. Well, spawn kill in the sense that their spawn almost killed me. Not that I got kill on spawn. I mean, you cannot get kill on spawn in Touhou. Doesn't work that way. You get iframes. Well, even if you didn't get iframes at the beginning of a stage, it's not like there's anything shooting at you anyways. Actually, getting iframes at the beginning of a stage? No, I don't think you have. As I said, it doesn't matter because nobody's shooting at you anyways, but there are no actual iframes. So I feel like I remember some Touhou games having your character blinking at the beginning, which I will assume it suggests iframes. Hey, I don't know. Well, whatever, who cares? It's like the most useless thing to know anyways. Absolutely useless piece of information. Alright. Definitely fall makes you do a lot of stuff for free. So here I rather bomb. It is a very, very brain dead sub-season. Without a doubt. You know, if the idea is warming up for Touhou 20, I don't think this is the right way to do it actually, because Touhou 20 is not gonna have anything this broken unless he adds a new mechanic that wasn't in the demo. Like, thinking it carefully, this might not actually be a good warm-up after all. Might be a bad one. If anything, instead of warming up, I'm just gonna get cold. No, honestly, I don't wanna deal with this Belgar. So how is it going, Sirpion? In EOSD you have iframes at the beginning and you can even use it on the first fairies flying out. I feel like I remember that being the case in one of the older games. I don't think these ones do though. Yeah, you actually don't have iframes, so it's not like it matters here because you don't get like it's not like you can get spawn kill. Like that's not possible. That is not a possibility. This is not Call of Duty. But yeah, I mostly mention iframes at the beginning of the stage because I was saying before, I was playing Ketsui off stream some days ago. And in Ketsui, the starting iframes are actually useful. Like, they are something that you want to exploit as much as you can. Also, important piece of information, I don't have any more bombs. So don't press that X button because it's not gonna do shit. Don't do it. I know you want to, but it's not gonna do anything. So refrain. Do not do it. Don't waste your time. Well, your time. More than your time, then don't waste your resources. The only resource I can waste here is my lives, because that's not enough to reload. I might die here. That's not dodgeable for me. There is no way I can legitimately dodge this pattern the intended way. But the intended way was most likely using release anyways. Usually soon when he balances game, he balances it around the mechanics, so obviously you can do it without using release, but I don't think I want to, personally. I'm gonna bomb that. In fact, I shouldn't have even used release there. It really... like, this kind of thing really shows you how infinitely brain dead the fall is. Like, having this many resources when I've been doing pretty much nothing but sub-season cancel. I saw that bullet. Didn't get surprised by it this time. Hey, that's fine. If you have tools, they are there for you to use it, to use them. Why else will you have them? Besides, I think that it's that a more than enough fair trade, considering that you have to deal with Cerno as the main shot type. I think it's fair. It's basically a very unoriginal way of playing the game. Basically, anyone whose objective is beating this game exclusively, like just beating it, not with any challenge, they will pick Fall, because it's that good. It's just that good of a season. I don't think I'm gonna risk it here, I'm just gonna bomb. You can tell that if the bomb hits the boss, it's an amazing bomb. But if it doesn't, it's still good, but not that good. Will be better. Ah, shit. I don't have sub-season. I do have bomb. Well, now I do. Didn't have it before. No problem. I want to dodge this, but I don't wanna risk it. God damn it. The eternal dilemma. Not to mention it's Cerno, so it's gonna take a while to take it down anyways. I'm already getting dizzy. I can't. I'm getting dizzy already. Like, I was gonna start losing my... like my precision, basically. I still don't know why that doesn't give you that many items when you cancel that many bullets. Did you hear that Sun say how he achieved great balance for Touhou 20? No, I didn't hear. But yeah, I don't know. I like, honestly, with Touhou 20, the only thing that I expect myself to do is failure. I only expect to fail and fail and fail. At least playing on Lunatic. I want to believe I can at least beat the game on normal. That shouldn't be an achievement for me, but it seems like it will be. Seems that the normal mode in that game is gonna be the equivalent of Lunatic in a lot of other games. In fact, you can probably say that it might be the equivalent to Lunatic in this game. Lunatic in this game, assuming you use every resource the game gives you, it's a very easy game. Well, a very easy game compared to what it could be, I mean, obviously. What I'm trying to say is that most likely gonna be like that for normal Touhou 20, the equivalent of trying to do Lunatic here. There is still hope. Well, I don't have any hope, but on myself. I don't know how it's gonna be received generally, and I'm not interested either. But when it comes to me, myself, I don't have any hope I can beat the game on Lunatic. Like, after seeing the demo, I feel like it's gonna be another UFO situation. You know that after all these years I still was not able to beat UFO in Lunatic. And not for lack of trying, that's the thing. Because you might be like, well, you just gotta farm it a little bit and you should get it. Well, no, I tried. I tried doing it off the stream, I tried doing it on stream. I cannot beat that game, basically. It's just not possible. And I feel like Touhou 20 will be like that as well. Wow, that was pretty close. Couldn't keep the miracles going for that long, I guess. Alright, that's fine. That is fine. Is this fine though? Well, with this amount of resources it should. I'm just gonna bomb in your face. Well, actually I think that didn't count as in her face, unfortunately. Gotta go a little bit closer than that. That was not close enough. Yeah, like, spell cards like that will probably be very hard if you try to dodge them normally, but the moment you try to use release, it becomes a different story. I think I'm gonna bomb this one. Like, I captured it in the Reimu attempt, but I don't wanna try it again. I don't think it's gonna happen twice. I think it's one of those spell cards that only happens one per session, and then you can forget about it. Only one attempt per session, but not allow more. I don't have bombs. I'm just gonna skip these patterns, if you don't mind. This one, since it has lasers, I shouldn't. But it's also about being careful with the talismans. The talismans are done with hatred. I can tell you that. Those curvy trajectories are not very nice at all. I ended up bombing anyways, but whatever. Alright. Actually, this is not really that many more resources compared to the Reimu run at all. Not a bad amount, but I don't think it's gonna be an attempt that is gonna get till the end. We will see though. Will happen, will not happen. I don't know. The problem is that if Reimu struggle taking these guys down, Cerno is gonna struggle twice as much. She's trying her best, okay? I'm just gonna bomb. I mean, if you don't down them before that, they don't give you the reward. And the reward is essentially a full bomb, so might as well get it. I also, differently from the Reimu run, I don't think I'm gonna risk it against Okina's non-spells. Like, I really want to dodge them, but there is no reason to. I mean, it wouldn't be that bad if it wasn't for the season items. The season items merging with the bullets is so irritating visually. It's just very hard to tell what you're dodging, you know? So here I think the bullet density is even better here. And the visibility is even worse because it merges with the background. That's the one thing about a lot of Touhou games, that when you play some other more traditional shoot 'em ups, you start to realize how bad the visibility is. Well, unless that game is Battle Garega. But Battle Garega shouldn't be you know, a benchmark for anything. Yeah, Battle Garega will be the exception in terms of the lack of visual clarity. Yeah, Battle Garega is the exception for a lot of things. Also the exception for dumb mechanics, for many things, really. More than I can probably think of right now. Wow, really? How did you die in the easiest non-spell like that? Are you a moron? Yes, I am. I'm gonna re-bomb here, because I don't wanna deal with this. Despite the fact that you might think that this is free and I already won, I really didn't, because of the final spell card. Even though this particular final spell card is one of the easiest ones, I still wouldn't count it out. It's not over yet. It's not over till it's over. How using release this spell card is quite easy, assuming you can recharge in time for the next wave. Well, considering Cerno's bomb, I think this should be more than fine. So basically what happens is that you are not allowed to use your release at all, so something as brain dead as the fall release, no, you're not allowed to use that anymore. But yeah, that's fine, because I mean I have a lot of lives and you're allowed to use bombs. In fact, actually, hold up. Oh, but it has a bomb shield. I did not remember that. She has a bomb shield. I'm surprised because Shunko doesn't have a bomb shield. I mean, I know that that's a different game, but it's a previous game. Well, neither Shunko or Shimiomaru have a bomb shield. In fact, actually, I think that Miko doesn't have a bomb shield either. But Okina does. I did not remember that. That's an interesting detail that I didn't account for. Because that means that it probably could be a defeat right now. It could easily be a defeat. I don't think I'm good enough to dodge this pattern. I used to be, kinda. Nowadays, don't think I can do it. Well, we still have 2 more bombs. Could be worse, I think. One more bomb. Nice. I'm actually out of resources. How am I able to do it like this every time? It seems that all of my recent 1 coin clears in Touhou always have like only 1, like, well, not 1, 0 resources left. It's crazy. Well, I will say that that was pretty nice, but all being so brain dead doesn't really make it feel that nice to do. That's fine. She thinks. I mean, later on I probably should try doing it with a sub-season that is not this brain dead, but like, when you use fall, the game falls apart. I mean, falls apart in the sense that you can do anything you want. Like, the game cannot stop you. It only stops you on the final spell card, and with the amount of resource that you amass in the entirety of the game, it doesn't really matter. So later on I kinda wanna try doing a couple of runs with Winter, maybe. Yeah, most likely Winter. Though I do want to try extra no release, see how that goes. I think it's been so long since I did that, and I think that's a very hard challenge. So I wouldn't really say that it's something I'm ready for, but I wanna try, so I will try. See how it goes. The problem is that doing it with Cerno is a bad idea. The one I have on YouTube that is a no release, I somehow have it with Marisa. So the best option that isn't Marisa will be Reimu. In fact, Marisa is not even a good option for that. Reimu will be the best option because of the out-time, but Cerno is probably gonna suck balls. We will see. Because doing no release, doing no bomb is something. It's not that hard because there is release, and that applies to the main game as well. But doing no bomb, no release of the extra is not that easy. Like, I will basically have to nail every spell card without issue. And I don't know if I can do that. But I wanna try, I mean. We are here to play. And play involves playing around. I think what I remember about this extra stage is not liking the stage itself. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think it was a long stage. Or maybe I'm confusing it with 15. You know that it's been a while since I played this extra stage. Because the main game itself I did play not that long ago. I played it like a year and a half ago, which is not that long ago. But this stage, I think last time I played it was 6 years ago. I think, I will have to check, but I don't think it was anything recent whatsoever. Oh, come on, you can't be like that. But I still hit you with a tiny bit of ice. I remember a lot of these spell cards were quite easy, assuming that you camp them with with the back shots. What the hell? Oh, my bad. I thought I saw an insect, but no. I think I need to take my meds. Ouch. So the good thing about dying is that you don't lose your releases. And as I say, I want to do a no release run, but the thing is that you also have the sub power, which is shooting backwards, which is honestly not really useful in that particular part, but it will be useful against Okina. Oh, actually, Cerno here is very useful for this part of the stage. I think there are other shot types that struggle a lot more here trying to do this. Yeah, I guess not Cerno. I remember this pattern being super random. Oh, I corner myself. Wow. Actually, managed to get out of that alive. Nice. Wow. Cool. How you did this one? Probably no. You know, the thing about this one is that you are intended to do it by using release. Which I don't exactly know how to do it without using release. Well, that one you can do something like that and it works. Alright. So this fight, how was this fight? I don't really remember very well. We will see. I feel like I remember a couple patterns being quite nasty. We will see. Most likely not this one. I still died, is what I get for talking, but here, if I recall correctly, the optimal way to deal damage was by going above her. Promise that if I do that I won't be comfortable with the dodging. But there were a lot of these patterns where the optimal strategy was just going above her. Well, especially if you use release and you spam release in top, you deal a lot of damage. Well, the issue is that by doing it... Oh! Actually, you cannot do it here. Damn, that's pretty nasty. It's like, no, you ain't doing it. I did not remember that. I thought you could do that in every pattern. I guess not. Huh. Well, maybe... I mean, if you just use release, yes, you can do it, but... Without using release, she doesn't like the idea of getting hit by that. That's messed up. This one... What's the difficulty of this one? Oh yeah, the random yellow bullets. Because the green shit is static. It just moves up and down like that. Doesn't have anything else out of the ordinary. I'm surprised that despite being like shooting at point blank, I'm not dealing that much damage. Though it's true that I'm not full power either. Yeah, it has the problem, however, that if you defeat her from above, she kills you. Pretty nice soon. You know that if it was a previous game, he wouldn't do that. There are multiple games where intended last position of the player is in a place where it will normally get killed by contact damage. And soon in a lot of those cases actually makes the boss move differently. Not here though, because you know, fuck you, I guess. Didn't feel like doing it. Maybe it's a personality trait for Okina. She's not gonna play fair. I can almost get the extra life, but unless I capture the next spell card, I don't think I'm getting it. I don't think the sub-items give you enough score. So unless I can capture this, I'm not getting that extra life. Oh, I don't remember how to dodge this. It was simply this, right? Or did it have something else? Wasn't it? Oh, maybe it goes back. I think it changes direction, right? Yeah, it does. Shit, I fucked up. Damn it, I was so close to the extender. Well, I can practice that one, because I want to remember how to do it. Thankfully, this game has a stage practice. Well, stage practice, yes, but I mean spell practice. So... Okay, was it this one? No way. No, actually no, it wasn't. Which one was this one though? Oh, the one that goes back and forth. I mean, see, the problem is that this one, you can practice it in stage practice, but stage practice is worthless. Because, I mean spell practice, I keep saying stage. The problem about spell practice is that it's not gonna show Okina murdering you by moving upwards. Well, actually, there is another problem with spell practice I just realized. It only makes you have 3 points of release for some reason. Not sure why, but whatever. This is the one with the fire. This one is just random. About this one. I mean, this one shouldn't be hard. I just need to know how to re-enter the pattern. Because once you... Well, that doesn't help for sure. Well, having less sub-season items also means that it's gonna be a lot faster to... Well, not faster, I meant slower to beat the pattern. I guess that can help you practice more. So I guess that's nice. The problem about this pattern is that it is related to where you are, like where this thing gets aimed at. Depends on that, and it's not that easy. I think that I wanted to keep going in the same direction, but no. If you keep going on the same direction, you're just gonna end up needing to dodge every single time instead of just naturally moving like this. So no, you have to change. So here you are going clockwise, well on the next one you go counterclockwise. Gotta do it that way. Problem is that it's hard to get into the rhythm. That's the difficulty of the spell card. Otherwise it will be free. You should simply ride like a little spot and that's it, you know. No problem whatsoever. I always get killed by the last bullet, or rather the last wave of bullets, and in that particular case it was also the last bullet. It's not easy. I actually think that there's gonna be a spell card that is gonna kill me every time. And it's not even supposed to be that hard. But I guess I forgot my easy strategy. I definitely remember not struggling with this one. So here, oh, you also have to pay attention to the red bullets. Well, all the bullets are red. I mean the circular ones. Like everything is red. That's kind of the idea. But it's still very hard. I'm feeling that this one, I just gotta assume that I will get a kill every time, because I don't seem to be able to recapture anything. What if I try now? I was gonna be like, what if I just try to engage the spell card from the bottom? Because if I do this, I can deal a lot of damage. But that doesn't really seem any easier. I am curious though, because I mean, if I'm gonna die anyways, may as well die dealing more damage. You know, at that point, paying attention to like all 4 directions, no thank you. Doesn't seem like a good idea. But you know, I don't think I'll do that. Yeah. That's how you're intended to do the switch, and you can see that it's doable, obviously, but being doable doesn't particularly make it easy, you know. So maybe it also has to do from what spot you start the spell card. Because depending on where you started, the switch can happen in the bottom. It's kind of what you want. Then though, there are still 5 more spell cards after that. Looks like it's gonna be very rough. Well, not like I have anything else to do, so might as well try this. Might as well. And it would be nice to get this with Cerno. Because I'm pretty sure Cerno is the absolute worst character to do this. So maybe Aya is worse. Because if you cannot use the bomb, Aya's shot type in this particular stage, I don't think it's gonna do much. Because Marisa has the damage. Reimu has the auto aim. And Cerno can also clear the stage very easily, but Aya, I don't think she has much. Aside from slightly more damage against bosses. Because the shot type is more straightforward. Alright, whatever. So how is it going? Yeah, we're using Cerno. I got the Lunatic one going clear with Cerno, so now we are trying to do this thing as well. Will it work? I don't know. That's what we're trying. But yeah, this extra stage, because I mean obviously I'm trying no bomb, but another thing that I'm wanting to try is no release. Because doing no bomb and allowing myself to use release is not particularly hard at all. If you can use release in this stage, you can very easily still win without much effort. But not having the option to use release turns it into a completely different challenge. In fact, it turns it into a more traditional no-bomb challenge. Basically doing no-bomb, no release is like the real way to do no-bomb, I will say. Something like that. Right? So when do you think that Soon is gonna release Touhou 20? Because yes, we all know that it's gonna release it this weekend at at Comic-Con. But when is it gonna release on Steam? When do you think he's gonna be like, oh yeah, there are people outside of Japan? More importantly, people outside of the Comic-Con, you know? You know, Steam, I think that very incorrectly gets only credited, be seen as something that only non-Japanese players are interested in. No, I'm pretty sure Japanese players that cannot go to Comic-Con, which I'm assuming is the majority of them, are also very interested, you know? One day after, you're very optimistic. I like it. Very, very optimistic. Almost delusionally optimistic, but hey, maybe that's the case. You never know. Pretty sure that wasn't the case for 19 though, but that's fine. Hey, that's fine. And the thing is that while I wait, I can probably do some more Gran Turismo anyway. Aside from playing the remaining Touhou games, which are 16, 17, 18 and 19, I don't really have many ideas. Personally, but these guys. Oh, actually, I didn't realize she summons the stars not when you go up there, but after a set amount of time. So you can still use that strategy to deal direct damage. So that's good. Actually, I don't even remember if here you had a safe spot without moving up or down, but I'm pretty sure you will die if you don't move. I think that this is also one of the first games where Reimu's hitbox is not smaller, which means that not even Reimu could save herself here, I think. And again, just move up and down, you know? Not that hard. Basically, half of the bullets here are aimed at you, and the other half is random. It just randomly shoots from one direction on the bottom, well, from one position of the bottom, and it goes upwards. So about this place, it's so hard to go down. It's so hard to go down without getting hit. And it feels like Sun made it hard on purpose. Oh, and then there is this shit. Oh, damn it. I've been practicing this spell card in spell practice a bit, and I didn't like it. Didn't like the idea of practicing this. Or just doing this spell card. I did it on the wrong side, it's fine. Promise that now it's gonna switch sides. Okay. Pretty far from full power at this point. I don't even remember most of the following spell. I remember the one of them that involves a laser, which I don't know if it's the survival one. I think it is the survival one. Also, could you please move where I am, because I cannot shoot you if you are gonna be on the other side of the fucking screen. Not to mention I need to dodge diagonally. God damn it, fucking asshole. This one was just RNG and that's it, right? Means that it's RNG of dodging from both sides. That's the problem. That's the hard thing about it. Fuck you. If I'm wrong, I'll eat Raiden Shogun's Cooking and 19 released on Steam on the same day. I don't remember that being the case, but it could be the case. I don't remember. Alright. I mean, that spell card, do I even need to practice it? Guess it's easier if I do it from the top. Well, not when the spell practice gives you this little power to do it though. I don't think it's easier though. Also, how is it going, silly shark boy? Yeah, I'm doing well. It's not really easier at all to do it from the top. I think you even have less, well, technically not less space, you cannot have less space. I mean, after all, she's right in the middle. Well, technically I think you have less space because you cannot go as high, you know? Because on the bottom you can go a lot lower, but on the top it kinda breaks you in the middle. Well, in the middle. I mean earlier. Unfortunately, this spell card is essentially just pure RNG. There's not much of a pattern you can follow here. Kinda wanna remember the other ones. Damn, 1 out of 16? Really? 1 out of 16? Oh, it's this one with the lasers. This is another one that is pure RNG, basically. Does it depend on your relative position to Okina? I think it does. Yeah, I think it does. Like, for example, if you do this, I don't know why you will do this, but if you do it from here, yeah. Wait, hold up. Huh. I mean, the problem is that if you do that, you are not hitting her. Unless you use Reimu. If you use Reimu, this is extremely easy to exploit, actually. You know, I wanna pick Reimu right now just to show you. Like, this is like free with Reimu, I gotta assume. You still have to dodge the stars, don't get me wrong, but if you pick Reimu, you should go to the side and forget about the lasers. Though theoretically, you are still limited by the... I mean, instead of being limited in the middle by the lasers, you are limited in the corner. So I guess it's better since you can move a lot more freely. Essentially, you do this, and you die. Now, okay, the one thing, you can do this, but this is not full damage. Just keep in mind that the talismans are not hitting. And even though the, you know, the sub shot with the cherry blossoms is good, it's not that damaging. No, actually it wasn't that free, I guess. So what came after that? Which one is this? He goes down. Oh, this one, actually Cerno is perfect for this one. Because she kills every enemy. In fact, focusing is not even a good idea here. Well, I mean, I guess it's a good idea for dodging, but... problem is that the sub-season items make this so confusing to dodge. Because they are the same color as the lower bullets. So you do want to focus to dodge. I mean, if you let some enemies go down, it's not like it's an issue. You can do that. Promise that by the time you move to the side, they can easily do contact damage. Well, not to mention that if they are... No, this one is also not gonna be easy. And then comes the survival and then the last one. The survival... Can you remind me? Like, I remember it involving a laser, but obviously shooting does nothing. It was static, so I think that there is no RNG involved here, right? Yeah, Cerno is better than Reimu for sure. At least as a character she is. As a shot type, I'm not so sure. I do remember that the laser spawned in whatever side you were. So there was a way to kind of exploit it to make it spawn on the same side every time. Wasn't really the best idea. Or, well, rather, I don't even remember how that worked. I do remember it working quite well. But it probably involved using release, so no thank you. The bullet density is low, it's just that it's the type of pattern that, despite the bullet density being low, it's very annoying, and keep in mind that the laser gets very fast afterwards. To the point that if you don't purposely try to go faster, you will get caught no matter what. Basically the final wave. Okay, well, I got it. Yokina pole? It might be. I don't remember the final spell card though. What was this? Like, it's not remembering it a good thing. Oh, and she does it from... Oh, she goes up. Oh, she spins. She spins. Yeah, I actually remember this one and thinking that it sucks. Like, this one is actually hard to do. Yeah, I'm not sure if that no bomb, no release is gonna happen with Cerno. I'm starting to have my doubts now. I mean, obviously at this point in the stage you will be very empty of resources. But yeah, this one gets very hard later on. maybe, I mean, we can still use Reimu. Because believe it or not, I don't have a Reimu no bomb, no release on caught on stream, so I could do that. I only have, I mean, I'm surprised I have a Marisa one. I probably had to farm that one for quite a bit. Because back then I used to farm runs, believe it or not. Like I used to farm some runs like that for a long time. But yeah, like that. Yes, Marisa has an insane damage output, but I don't think that it's good enough to warrant an easy run just like that. Yeah, then she starts shooting 2 rounds of spare heads, which is a spare, I mean spearhead, sorry, my bad. Yeah, this one, dude, I'm not so sure now. Even if I had a lot of resources to waste here, and by resources I mean lives, I don't think that the final pattern is gonna be that easy to do. Maybe we should change to Reimu, but I still wanna try a couple more times. It's probably not very possible for me. I need to try at least a couple more times. I'm pretty sure I can do it, but it will take a while. Well, Reimu might only be easier. No, actually, Reimu most likely will be easier in most cases. The only one I can think of her not being that useful is the one where the enemies spawn ahead. Well, ahead, I mean above. Or maybe she might be useful in that one too. I don't know. If the struggle is too much, we're switching to Reimu. It's that I like to usually pair the extra no bomb clear with the lunatic one coin clear. And in this case, Cerno got the lunatic run, so she deserves to get the extra one, but if only she was a little bit stronger. That's kinda the issue. Her strength is a problem, or rather her lack of strength. It's fine. We will figure something out, I guess, early. Nice. Well, at least that was a perfect mid-boss. Those are always nice to see. The mid-boss is not really something that should be worrying. If anything, for a minimum decent run, you have to perfect the mid-boss. Not like it's that hard to do anyways. It's the rest of the run that is an issue. Okina, when it comes to patterns, I feel like she's probably pretty high in terms of difficulty for extra bosses. And that's mostly because the one thing that, like, first of all, she's a very unorthodox boss. in how she handles the whole thing with the like reverse spell cards. But by reverse I mean simply that they are spell cards that she waits for you below. Wow, that was a perfect stage. Actually. Perfect stage. Alright, that's nice. So I can actually perfect the stage without much issue. The boss on the other hand, well, perfected definitely not, but 5 lives here and I probably will get 2 more. So basically I can die 7 times. And that might seem like a lot, but the spell practice didn't really make it seem like a lot at all, you know? The spell practice made it seem like I might need even more than that. Why do I keep dying to this fucking spell guard? This is not a hard spell guard. Hey, how do I keep hitting a bullet randomly? I guess I should do. I guess I cannot help it. Now that she fires the first set of stars, I think. I don't know if it was a good idea to do that, but it worked. It almost didn't work. That's the thing to note. A lot of times a strategy works barely, you know? And those times, it's important to know that. Because it worked that time, but the next time it probably won't work. Oh, come on, dude. Now you are getting killed by this one. These are the easy spell cards, dude. You cannot die on this. Why do you have to be like this? Why do you have to be like this? I don't mind you dying on the hard ones, but I definitely do mind you dying on the easy ones. That's not what I wanna see, you know? You gotta be grateful that the bullets in this spell card are so slow. Because if they weren't this slow, well, I still died. Never mind. You know what? Forget about what I say. I wonder if it's a good idea for this non-spell to simply start it from behind. From below, I mean. But if I don't start it from below, having to go back, or well, to go down from the middle of the screen seems like a problem. Though, on top of that, it's also such a random ass pattern. There are so many, like the bullets can overlap in such a horrible way. And at that point, there's nothing you can do about it. I cannot switch on this one. I feel like the first wave is harder. Because I don't struggle this much with the other waves, but the first wave murders me every time. Maybe I'm gonna struggle with this one too. No, but see, it feels like the other waves are shorter. Maybe it does have to do with my current position of the screen. I don't know. Damn, this has been terrible. It's like I did all the patterns badly. So obviously, if I don't make it to the... well, any new spell card, I shouldn't be surprised when I play this badly. So the idea of this spell card, it's very random, but it's dodging the bottom as fast as you can, and then worry about what comes from above. The problem is that it's also so random that the bottom and the top can very easily overlap. And you don't want that. But it's not like it's up to you. Well, see, for example, there they overlap and I couldn't dodge. And there's nothing I could have done. Like, I did the best I could. Well, I died in every single pattern, I'm pretty sure. I don't think there was a single pattern that I left without dying. At least a spell card. I also die in that one non-spell as well, just to add it to the pile. And the problem with doing that is that not getting score also means that you're not getting the second extra life. That's kinda the issue. That spell card is, all things considered, pretty reasonable. And a funny thing here is that it seems that the final non-spells are way easier than the first ones. Like, this non-spell, for example, is a choke. Like, this might as well be the first non-spell, but it isn't. And this spell card is very hard. Kinda doubt that I can capture it, and it's not like I can afford anything else right now, so there is no way. To the point that I wonder if it might not be a better idea to just stay, instead of moving, to just stay in the middle of the screen. Because at least in the middle of the screen you have to dodge the anchor shaped bullets or whatever the fuck they are very rarely, and you only have to worry about the blue bullets from the center. You don't even have to worry about enemies. Like, the enemies will be killed on spawn. And here comes the survival. If I capture the survival, I get an extra life. And if I get that extra life... Wait, where is the laser? Oh, there it is. If I get an extra life, I wouldn't say that I can win, because I still feel like the final spell card is very messed up no matter what. But my chances are certainly high. Though with this run, seeing how bad it was and the fact that I got this far really makes me want to go all in on Cerno. Ooh, well, I'm glad that the laser disappeared there. Holy shit, that was wild. Yeah, a lot of items despawn a lot sooner than the sprite makes it look like. And that was the case there. Damn, I almost died there. So I got the extend, which essentially means that I can die once Now the thing here is that if I die anywhere aside from the last pattern, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna win, is what I'm trying to say. So I should save that death from there. Well, I say it as if it was something voluntary. It's something that depends on me, yes. But it's not something that I can voluntarily decide, you know? I'm not gonna die here because I want to not die. No, it doesn't work that way. Would be pretty nice if it did, though. It's the reason why these are shoot 'em ups. There is never a guarantee of anything. The only guarantee is that there is no guarantee. I cannot even look at her health. Like, I'm so focused on dodging that I don't even know how close she is to switching to the last phase. I'm assuming she should do it here. Yeah, she does. Here, this phase is very hard. This should be it. I got it. There you go. If you miss the last wave, you can die before. That's true, but I didn't die at all. So Cerno here, yet again, proving she's the strongest, of course. And you see that? That was a cool run. Well, it really wasn't. I died in like every other spell card, so calling this run cool is a little bit of an exaggeration, but I did like my performance on the last 3 spells. That's because I captured them all, but she thinks. So I guess the no bomb, no release wasn't as hard as I remember. Damn, that wasn't even a PV. It's expected because if you use release you get a lot of score, but pretty sad when you see your run not even getting to the high score, you know? So I think that with the time remaining, I could actually try to do a lunatic run with a sub-season that isn't as brain dead as Fall, but I don't think it's gonna happen, in the sense that I don't think I'm gonna get it, but I think I might as well try that. Throwing for content? Of course, I was throwing for content. Here you will see. Wait, actually, hold up. I wanna check my records because I did get Lunatic. Actually, not with Rainbow. But since it doesn't have a clear, it makes sense. So basically, I had with Fall Cerno, with wait, the game calls it Autumn? I was sure that it called it Fall, so is that fanfiction translation, really? All this time I thought that it was called Fall in-game. So is that really fanfiction? But wait, doesn't it call it like that in replays? No. So all this time I've been falling for fanfiction translation? No way. Because the translation here said Fall, right? Or am I going crazy? Because if you look at the selection, the sub-season is in Japanese. It's not in English. But when you get to replay, and you know the leaderboard, it says Autumn. Why the fuck will you change that? Or maybe my memory is short-circuiting, but doesn't the English patch call it Fall? Why will you change that? Autumn is an English word. like damn, just when I thought that translators couldn't add more fanfiction to the patches, I get surprised by new bullshit. But here, until I can confirm that I'm not gonna talk shit, because maybe I'm the one that's misremembering. Maybe I'm misremembering, and in that case, that's my, you know, my fault. By the way, I got distracted. I didn't even care about that. Here, I got Aya Winter and Marisa Autumn. So essentially, Reimu is the only one I don't have a Lunatic 1 coin clear with. I could use Winter. I think I heard Fall. Yeah, I mean, I remember using Fall for the YouTube videos as well. So, I don't know if that's because I constantly heard it, because here it very clearly says Autumn. And that to me is so fucked up, because that had to be an American. Autumn is a normal word, but Americans usually say Fall when they refer to that season. But Autumn is the real word, like, you know. The English patch actually uses Fall. I can't believe it, dude. There you have the perfect proof that these assholes should care about inserting their fan fiction. Autumn is a real English word. It's not like this is English that soon put, like, you know, Ghost in Touhou 17. Instead of putting Ghost, he put Ghost. And that's obviously a typo and not an English word. But this is an English word, and it's also well written. Like, it's not like the U is in a wrong place or the M in a bad place. Like, this is a word. In fact, obviously I'm not a native English speaker, but when I learned the seasons in English, they told me autumn, they didn't told me fall. I learned later that fall was how Americans call it, but that's crazy, dude. Actual fan fiction. You know, Kyle say that we don't hate localizators enough, and I'm inclined to agree every day with him more and more. Well, these people are not professional localizators, thankfully. Well, I think some of them actually are, depending on what you mean by professional, I guess. But, like, they work for other Doshin games as well. But man, like, why do you have to do that? Oh, actually on the... Okay, hold up. We might be throwing some bad accusations. It says fall in the background. Here. That still doesn't justify changing it in places that there is no reason to change it. Okay, I think I understand what's going on here. I think, trying to think as the people that translated this, I think what the idea is that they want things to be uniform. So, since this is an image and not actual text, they figure that if they wanted that to be uniform, they will just change the text in the leaderboard and on replay instead of, you know, leaving the image or changing the image. But I don't understand why you cannot just leave the image, you know? Like, I mean, leaving the image, yes, but I mean, why cannot you leave the leaderboard and shit, you know? I don't see any reason not to do it. But yeah, whatever. It is what it is. Did I pick the right one? Yeah, this is Winter. Hey, I want to try Reimu Winter and see how far I can get. I don't have very high hopes, but I'll try. At least want to try something that is not as brain dead as Winter. I mean as Fall, sorry, my bad. Winter has very high damage, and if you know how to use it, it can be extremely good. It's not for people that just play the game casually. Ghost is their name, yeah, of course. But anyways, point is that fuck translators. But yeah, I mean, the thing about translators is that they already pissed me off multiple times. So every time I see something like this, it pisses me off further. It's not like this offends HSiFS is particularly bad. It's just that I've seen so many things being translated for no reason badly that the moment I see something like this, I just go crazy. Blame English for having two names for the season. Well, yeah, that you can say that, but the decision of changing something that Sun wrote in English for no reason is the translators. You know? That was the translation's fault. My only main clear is Rainbow Winter. Oh, really? So maybe this might be easy. Well, not after dying like that. Hold on. Let's go back. Maybe not if I do that, you know. If I do that, I don't think it's gonna be very easy. But yeah, I still can't forget calling in the PS98 translation patch, calling Alice Margatroyd. Because they felt like it, you know? Like, that's the problem I feel that translators have, and it's something that happens every time. Translators think they are writers. No, you're not a writer, you're a translator. Your job is not to write the story. So in PC98, if Alice is just called Alice, you know, don't add Margatroyd. Because you are not the one that gets to decide if it's the same Alice as the Windows games. That's Sun to decide, and if Sun wants both Alices to be different characters, so be it. So here you are taking attributions that don't belong to you. That's what I hate about translators. Oftentimes they think they are the writers. And you're not the writer. If you want to be a writer, write your own story. Don't be a parasite in someone else's story, you know? It's good if you do laser stacking. I don't know what that means. You mean that if you never use release? Wait, are you saying to do a no release run? Is that what you mean? Or do you mean something else by laser stacking? Because doing a no release run in Lunatic sounds wild. But that might be an interesting thing. Oh, you don't mean that. Ah, well, that's a shame. So what does laser stacking mean? Well, I will assume that it probably has to do with using release and then immediately afterwards. Well, actually, I don't know. I will be making stuff up here. So now you made me curious to do a no-release run of this. When you release levels, you keep the previous laser up until you stop shooting. Keep the laser up until you stop shooting. Really? Huh. So if I were to do this, are you sure you keep your previous laser? Because I wouldn't be seeing it. Maybe I misunderstood, but you say when you release levels up? What? I don't think I understand the mechanic. When you release levels up, you keep the previous laser until you stop shooting. I don't understand that sentence. when your release level... Oh, that's why I didn't understand that sentence, because you say your... When your release level's up, you keep the previous laser until you stop shooting. Okay, so essentially it does involve not releasing. Well, I guess, so you release at the beginning of a stage? Is that what you mean? Because if well, at the beginning of a boss, I guess as well, because if it's when you stop shooting, it will be at the beginning of a boss and at the beginning of a stage, right? Or does having the button held down counts as shooting? I'm not sure I know what the best strategy will be if that's how it works. So yeah, basically when you get a new level, like the damage multiplies itself. Something like that. So basically never let the shot button go. Well, in that case, yeah, I can see it being a cool thing, but it will basically require you to release in places that normally you wouldn't release, right? That's how it is. If you stop shooting for whatever reason, you lose the stacks. Yeah, so basically, you can release to level it back and get the stacks. And yeah, so that's what I was saying. You will want to release at the beginning of a boss fight. Or at the beginning of a level. Or, well, both, right? Because here it counts as stopping shooting, I would assume, right? Probably. And you also lose stacks when you power up. Isn't that kind of like the opposite of what he's saying? You can tell by how many options are glowing under your character. Okay. I feel like it's a little bit complicated though. The red power. I mean, the red power, you mean when you use the release. Well, oh, yeah, I mean, you lose the stacks. But that's the point, like, you lose the stacks there because you lose the options as well. And the idea is that you will lose them to build them back again. That's the idea. Because otherwise, if you stop shooting, and it's not like you stop shooting because you want to, you stop shooting because the game made you stop shooting. And that way, by resetting the stacks, you can stack up again instead of, well, not stacking basically. So that essentially, assuming you do this properly, you can probably get a shot type that is as broken as... Wait, did I stop shooting? What? I didn't stop shooting. But apparently they got disabled, right? Oh, okay, that's what Serpion is talking about. When you get a new power level, yes, they get reset, you're right. You lose it at power up, yeah. Well, in that case, you will have to play relatively well to pull this off. It's not as brain dead as I was expecting it to be. Yeah, it does, because you can see that it stopped glowing. That's interesting. Obviously, it's a bug, the whole thing about the sub-options glowing, but... Well, glowing and stacking, I mean. But it's interesting the way it works. It almost feels like it's intentional, even if it isn't. Almost feel like Su knew exactly what he was doing. But no, that ain't the case. One of those cases of unintended genius, because that's a very interesting mechanic, I gotta say. If it was intentional, I think that it will make Winter a lot more interesting. Yeah, it's just like Malice Cannon indeed. That if it was an intended mechanic, not only it will make it makes the shot type viable, but also the fact that that it looks intentional. Because otherwise the shot type compared to every other shot type is just shit. Every other group shot type, I should clarify. Because every other group shot type has very good tools, like, well, Rainbow and Yukari basically being very good novice friendly and just a lot of range. Well, Yuyuko also having an insane amount of range, and Youmu's bomb being very high damage. And then you have Sakuya and Remilia, that even if it's not super good, Remilia deals a lot of damage. But then you have Marisa and Alice that just suck in everything. But the moment you use that bug, it's a different story. It's in a different level. I think that this will be an interesting run to... Because I don't think this is a run I'm gonna be able to clear today. But if at some other point in time I want to play this game, this will be like a very interesting run to try, actually. And in a way that I don't have to rely on I was gonna say on fall, no, on autumn. I don't have to rely on autumn. That's nice. You know, when I highlight the previous run that I did with Cerno, I'm gonna put Cerno autumn. All this time I've been calling it fall, but this is as far as it goes. You ain't gonna see me call it fall again. Well, maybe you're gonna see me say the word fall, because it's, you know, I've been so used to it, but that's as far as it's gonna go. Yeah, I'm a fall denier. I mean, I don't like the word fall either. Because fall is a word that already means something else. It means something going down. Or I mean going down, or like going like, you know, being at gravity's mercy, right? To avoid using the word fall to describe the same word, right? But yeah, the thing is that that's, well, you can say the same thing about spring. I mean, spring is also an object. So in that regard, I guess that's also dumb. But I don't think it's as dumb as fall. Precisely because there is already another world. I keep dying on the last fucking second, dude. Like, it happened the same in the Cerno run. It's just that in the Cerno run I had fall being brainwell fall. See what I mean? They conditioned me to say fall all this time. But it's also easier to pronounce, but like, whatever. Point is that I had fall being brain dead, so any mistake that happened in the Cerno run was not that important, because just got carried by fall, essentially. So yeah, whatever. Hey, well, I'm gonna tell you right now, tomorrow my idea is doing Touhou 17. Now that I got this game, both the Lunatic and the Extra, tomorrow will be time to do 17. And for 17, I do have a lot of shot types that I don't have Lunatic with. I mean, after all, that game has 9 shot types. I think I have Lunatic with 4 of them, but obviously not with all of them. I forget how nice the stage 3 looks, yeah. Well, looks and sounds. I remember when I first played the demo of this game, feeling so hype about the rest of the game because I really like the way stage 3 look. Well, honestly, back then I was hype about any Touhou game. Now with Touhou 20, I cannot really say the same. It's more that I'm hyped to see how much I'm gonna hate. It's fine. I mean, hate it because of skill issues. Mostly. Well, it depends, because one part will be skill issue, but pretty sure there are also gonna be some patterns in Touhou 20 that are essentially gonna be an act of terrorism. I don't even doubt it. There are gonna be some in that game that will be so messed up that I think that the Geneva Convention is not gonna be very happy about them. So aside from the skill issue, there's also like the part where you look at the pattern and you're like, bruh, what are you doing? It's fine. Depending on where you use the release, you can also get a lot of sub-seasonal items, which is good, but problem is that, but obviously it won't be ever as brain dead as fall is. The damage here very high. Basically have 4 stacks there. I don't know. Pitchfork hype. I agree. Like, that's the thing. Well, I mean, it doesn't help that people are already complaining about soon using AI, which I personally find to be pretty funny. But yeah, like, at least the thing is that, you know, for the people that usually just play on lower difficulties and don't really care too much about the game itself and care more about the lore, I think I'm glad that they will shit on the game regardless simply because he decided to use AI. So basically we can all shit on the game together. We can call it the worst Touhou game ever, and multiple people are gonna agree just for different reasons. That's the funny thing. I mean, the AI stuff really will make a lot of people say that the game fucking sucks, regardless of if the game sucks or not. But, you know, when it comes to Touhou games, people that are, you know, die-hard fans of Touhou, they usually, when they think of a Touhou game that sucks, nothing really comes to mind. Like, they cannot see a Touhou game on a negative light, right? Fuck. So, the thing is that I feel like this might be the first one that people will see in a negative light. more tryhard players like Shamers like the demo compared to previous games? Well, obviously. People like, you know, people that can play shoot 'em ups that are extremely hard obviously will look at an extremely hard Touhou game and feel at home. The thing is that Touhou is a series that is particularly known for, well, at least among people that play shoot 'em ups, for being the one series that it's aimed at more casual players. But obviously Shamers and every world record haver ever in shoot 'em ups is probably gonna like it more than the other Touhou games. But those are basically the minority of the minority. And we are talking about the 0.0001% of the players. So I don't think that, I mean, obviously, you know, everyone can have their opinion, but I think that at the end of the day, in terms of quantity, there are not gonna be many that are gonna be like, oh yeah, this game is amazing. It's kind of the case with UFO, you know. The UFO, most people that play Touhou more casually don't like UFO. A lot of people should say, oh, curvy lasers, and that's also a valid reason, instead of like, you know, the whole system of resources being trash. But the thing is that the people that can, like, you know, do ridiculous stuff like, you know, Touhou Ketsui, for example. Yeah, people that can do that are gonna see a hard Touhou game and they're gonna be like, yeah, finally a game that is a Touhou game that is not boring. Yes, obviously, but again, those are an extremely small minority. That is very loud because usually, well, and especially Shamers, it's a very popular player. But it's the minority regardless. You know? Like, the majority of people are basically gonna bitch out AI art. That's what I predict the majority opinion to be. Like, the majority are just gonna bitch out AI art unless Soon removes it, and I very highly doubt it he will. And then you will have people that see the game for what it is as a game, and also unless Soon makes changes in the balance, they are gonna look at the game and be like, what the fuck is this shit? They also like UFO, so their opinion is invalid. I mean, I wouldn't say it's invalid, but it will be a minority of opinion, because yes, they like UFO precisely because, differently from every other Touhou game, it's harder than every other one, right? They obviously they are gonna like it, but they are a very small minority. I mean, a very small minority simply because the people that can comfortably beat those games on Lunatic are a very small amount. It's not even a matter of, you know, what I think the majority opinion or whatever is. Like, not many people can beat UFO on Lunatic. And I'm pretty sure that the people that can do it, not all of them love it. Like, a lot of them just did the challenge simply because they wanted to have it as an achievement under their belt, but whether they actually like the game or not is a different story. But yeah, the people that can comfortably play UFO and beat it like it's nothing are a very small minority. I mean, people that can already beat Lunatic, Touhou games on Lunatic are already a minority, even though it's not as small. Wow, nice spawn kills, fucking sack of shit. But yeah, the point is that I don't think there are gonna be that many people that will like 20 unless substantial changes are made to everything. I'm getting my ass kicked, dude. Also, you mentioned Violet Detector. No, wait, I'm gonna continue. Fuck this shit, I don't wanna retry. Hey, come on. I don't wanna retry, I don't care about this run. I already got the Lunatic run today. If I get another one or not is irrelevant. But yeah, the point is that Violet Detector. Yeah, a lot of people talk shit about that game, but yeah, you might be right. I guess when people think negatively of a Touhou game, that's the one that shows up. I don't know. I mean, I know why, but I think that I don't know. People call shit like the teleport shank, and I guess it is, but I feel like the teleport or any mechanic in that game is not even close to how shank and shit UFOs are as a mechanic. You know? So, I don't know. I think a lot of people expected something else from Violet Detector, and it makes sense considering that the previous game of that kind was Impossible Spellcard, and Impossible Spellcard is a very good game. It's a game that is perfect for any type of player. That's also another thing that is good. If you're not very good at shoot 'em ups, being able to use items and creatively use them, and also use different ones if you feel like it, is fantastic for, you know, completion and replayability. And if you're already a good enough player, doing it with no items is very, very challenging. So essentially, that game has everything, has something for everyone. Violet Detector is kind of like the opposite in the sense that it doesn't really have anything for anyone. Like, for more casual players, they see it as an inferior version of any of the photo games, right? For more advanced players, they see it as a game with no challenge. I mean, for people that care about story or whatever, a lot of people don't like Sumireko. The translation being shit doesn't help, because they purposely replace like Japanese lingo that teenagers do by like American lingo, right? That teenagers used to use back when that game released. So that didn't help either, because a lot of people that play those games tend to be, you know, tend to kind of like Touhou because of its, you know, because of how exotic it is a lot of times. So suddenly seeing all this shit from their, you know, day-to-day real life, and be like, what the hell is this shit doing in my Touhou? I think that also negatively impacted in a lot of people's view of the game. Not all of them, but a lot of people saw like Sumireko using the word doggo and they barf in their mouth a little bit. And I don't think that's, as much as I would like to shit talk the translators here, that's just Sumireko being a shit character in general, you know? That's not much the translators can do there. They probably could have, well, I don't know. Because at that point you basically have to choose between like doing references that someone that is not Japanese will not understand, or having a translation that sounds extremely goofy. But there is no winning move there, I think. And a lot of people don't like Sumireko because of that. Basically, her trait is, I'm a human teenager. That's the defining trait of Sumireko. I mean, obviously you can say she has this and that ability, like telekinesis or whatever the fuck she can do. Sure. But as a character in terms of personality, she's basically like an annoying teenager girl that is also a hipster. It's a very easy to hate character. I personally don't care that much. I mean, I like Sumireko's visual design. I like the game she debuted on, like the Urban Legend in Limbo. That game and especially her boss fight are very good. But it's one of those characters that it's like, whatever. I don't strongly feel anything about the character, really. It's like a character that is there just like many others in the Touhou series, you know. It's kind of like the same level of indifference that I feel towards, I don't know, like Nemuno, since we're playing. Well, actually, Nemuno, I kind of like Nemuno a little bit simply because design-wise she's quite original. I think if anything, the one that I feel very indifferent towards is Narumi. Her visual design is okay, but as a character, it's like, who cares? So to me, a character like Narumi and a character like Sumireko are the same in how little I give a shit about them. You know, it's there in a basically in the irrelevant thoughts division of my brain. But yeah, a lot of people I think really don't like Sumireko because of I don't know. And keep in mind that the popularity of the characters nowadays is essentially almost entirely dictated by the gacha. And nobody plays the shoot 'em ups. Nobody played the shoot 'em ups before the gacha, but now that the gacha is here, I think the most people that care about Touhou are probably playing the gacha. I mean, Touhou as a franchise and not as a game, because I mean, shoot 'em up players will still play this. Well, at least the ones that don't mind playing Touhou. A lot of shoot 'em up players, you tell them, hey, what about Touhou? And it's like you just call them a slur, right? Like you just call them a slur by just implying the idea that they might enjoy Touhou. A lot of shoot 'em uppers are like that. But the ones that like Touhou as a game will still keep playing the game. I like Sumireko, she has a cool cape and rage baits everyone. I mean, Sumireko, as I say, I like the visual design and the boss fight, but when it comes to her personality, I think she's precisely uninteresting because she's a realistic character. Like simply an ordinary girl, just happens to have supernatural powers, right? It's like, yeah, an ordinary girl, like, who cares, right? Are there any characters from 16 onwards that you really like? Saki. In terms of design and personality, I like Saki. Yeah, if you tell me really, like, as I say, I like Nemuno as a design and more or less what she is a Yamanba. Like, that's cool, but it's not like a character that I care that much about. But of characters that I really like, yes, Saki will be the one, most likely. Because if I think about 16, there is not really any character from this game I particularly like that much. Like, I like their themes, I sometimes like their visual design, but as characters, not really any of them. In 17... well, in 17, actually, okay, I do like Mayumi's design, but also as a character, it's like, who cares, right? I mean, I like the fact that she looks diligent and all of that. Wow, that bullet cock needs to stay in place. But I like that, but it's whatever. And everyone else in that game, I don't really care about any of them. In fact, some of them I straight up dislike them. Like Yachi, I don't like that character. I don't like Keiki either. Urumi, I like that character is like what? Hey, those characters, no. But Saki, I think it's in a league on her own to me, because the fact that she's supposed to be a Pegasus, the fact that she's a musclehead, like she's just strong and dumb, and the fact that she has a Saint Seiya reference on top of what I think is one of the best songs in the game, really makes Saki stand out about everyone else, to me. Now, we were talking about 18. I don't think there is a single character from 18 I like. Well, I like the Megumu design. That's the Tengu, right? That's the name of the Tengu. Her design is cool. Her song is also cool. Outside of that, not really. Like, the first 3 enemies is like, I cannot afford to give a shit about any of them. At least, I gotta admit that having... what was her name? What was the third boss name in that game? I already forgot. That's how little I care about them, you know? No love for Aun. I like Aun. It's just that it's one of those characters that is like... whatever. Yeah, Sanyo. Like... if it is true, because I didn't really bother checking the design, and not to mention that I cannot trust translators either, but if she really is a prostitute, that's very interesting to me. That's something that is very unusual for someone like Sun to do, and much less in like a Japanese game. So I felt that Sanyo was very original because of that, if it is true that she's that. Aside from that, every character in that game is so lame. Well, Mike looks nice, but that's about it. It's just a fortune cat and that's it. Like, whatever. But every other character, I don't really care. She isn't exactly a prostitute. In that case, I think she's not interesting. Because that, I feel like, will be the only interesting quality, simply because it's something that's never been made before in Touhou. And in most Japanese games in general. You know that, especially when it comes to, obviously, family-friendly Japanese games, like, prostitution is something that is not a topic that even gets touched. So, I feel like that's extremely original for a work like this to add a character like that. But, well, if she's not even that, then I don't think I really care. So, yeah. The point is that 18, to me, character-wise, is an extremely forgettable game. Like, all the characters from that game could disappear and I wouldn't feel the impact. Because they already have no impact existing, so their disappearance obviously would also have no impact. And in terms of 19, I also don't like anyone. No, actually, that's a lie. I do like Son... I was out to say Son Goten. No, that's a Dragon Ball character. What was her name? Son Beaten. Well, close enough. Son Beaten is a cool character. She has also the only new song in the game that I like as well. But I don't like her as much as I like Saki. In fact, even less by the fact that apparently she's not even like Sun Wukong reincarnation. Like, that's a lie that they told her for whatever reason. I don't know exactly why. I also didn't bother reading the story of that game. Like, at that point, basically, I stopped giving a shit about Touhou's story. Like, essentially, after 17, I stopped giving a shit. Like, 17 story already, to me, is quite shit. So after that, I stopped caring. So I don't know what happens, and I don't care either. And I won't care about 20 either, in terms of story. Yeah, maybe if I, you know, care about the story, I could care more about the characters. That's true. Like, maybe the fact that I'm ignoring the story doesn't let me enjoy the characters, but I think visually none of them really strike me from 19, you know? 19 story is cool. I mean, I heard that it's something about private property or some shit like that. So that already the premise doesn't sound interesting specifically to me. Like something about, I don't know, hell being, I don't know what it is, but I think it involves that. Maybe it doesn't, and I've been trolled, but I think it does. And if that's the case, I cannot really give a shit. Because essentially, how can I say it? It's the same problem that I had with Shoujo Part 6, you know? In the sense that everything that happens, I feel like an spectator. Well, I mean, you are an spectator, but what I'm trying to say is that you don't really understand what's happening until you reach the end of the game and they explain everything in the credits. Well, the credits, I mean the ending. Like, you never feel like you're actively part of the story. Like, you feel that Sun is just having some schizophrenic incident in his head and you are just reading his ramblings. Instead of a game like Touhou 6, which basically is pretty straight, just to give a random example, right? Like Touhou 6, it's pretty simple. There is a mist that is covering the sun, go find the culprit. That's it. And you find the culprits along the way, and you beat them. But with games like 17, and even 16 to some degree, it's like all the game you're wondering what the fuck is happening, and even when you reach the ending you still don't understand what happened. Well, I could also say the same thing for something like Touhou 8, just to not always, you know, talk shit about new games. Touhou 8 has that problem too, but I think that at least in Touhou 8 you still more or less know what your objective is. More or less. Like, someone stole the moon. It's extremely stupid as a concept, yes, but you understand what the issue is in that game. I guess the interaction of characters having different motivations is interesting. It's the same thing that happened in Scarlet Weather Rhapsody, and I do like the story mode of that game a lot. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm interested in checking the story Because if I care about a specific character, I would. But the only one I remotely cared was Sun Bitten, and when I read that she wasn't even Sun Wukong's reincarnation, but some like random yokai that just, you know, role play as that, it's like, whatever, I don't care. And the other characters, I don't care about any of them. Like, I don't care about the eggplant girl, I don't care about the Sanmu, I don't care about the Chupacabra, and I don't care about the wolf either. What about Saki? Well, but I mean, Saki in that game plays a very secondary role. I mean, obviously, yeah, I could read her story, but I think that if I don't know what's happening in the game, reading her story is not gonna help me too much, you know? I mean, at that point, it's not like there's much I will be able to get. I will have to read the rest. I mean, if it was one of the first characters you could play as, it will make sense because you will learn the story as it goes. So it's like one of the last characters you unlock. So at that point, you kind of have to be familiar with the story. Everyone other than Reimu and Sanmu are having a secondary role. That could be the case. Like, it's just not really knowing what the premise is also doesn't help. I mean, all this thing is basically a matter of willpower, right? In the sense that if I have the willpower to read it, I wouldn't have any issue to understand anything. I just don't have it. I just, like, it's not even close in my list of priorities to learn about 19's story, even if it involves Saki. Because the thing about Saki is that it's there as essentially another one of the bosses, right? Because you also have Yachi and Yuma. So at that point it's like, yeah, she's another one of the Yakuza. Cool. And that's another thing. Ironically, that's the thing that I care the least about when it comes to Saki. Like, the whole fact that she's a Yakuza head and she's the leader of the Wolf Gang or whatever, that's the thing I care the least about. Like, I prefer everything else she has. But that one thing is something very unimportant to me. And it seems that that's kind of the idea in 19, that, you know, she represents that role. But yeah, I don't really care. But yeah, it's fine. I mean, I think it's not... Like, look, if 19 released 10 years ago, I probably would be, like, all over it. Like, I probably will be looking at every translation. I will be reading other people's opinion in the game, like on the story and shit. I will be looking at interpretations of the story by random people. But I kinda stopped caring about the story aspect of Touhou after being let down multiple times. Especially with the manga. You know that at some point I was like, hey, since I like Touhou so much, well, might as well check the mangas out. Like, not only they are official mangas, but they are currently running. And at least in my experience, because obviously other people have other opinions. In my opinion, the Touhou mangas are so shit that it feels like it's done on purpose. They are shit on purpose just to, you know, be like, well, if you really care about Touhou, play the game. Stop reading this shit. The art, I gotta admit that in a lot of them is fantastic. especially ones like, you know, Wild and Horn Hermit has fantastic art. Well, and Lotus Eaters also has fantastic art. But the story itself is so fucking boring that I'd rather read a history book. Probably gonna be less boring. I know that it's intended to be slice of life, but I feel like slice of life at least has to have something else to hook you up. Like an interesting ongoing story, or likable characters, or, well, something degenerate, right? Like, you know, the multiple romantic comedy slice of life, right? The thing is that the Touhou mangas don't have anything of any of that. Like, the characters, despite being characters that you see in the game, are not likable at all. And nothing really happens in the overall story. It's just a bunch of unrelated shit. Yes, most of the times it closes at the end. Like, for example, Wild and Horn the Hermit has a conclusion that is overreaching of the whole story, yes. But it's a conclusion that sucks balls, and even if it didn't suck balls, the only things that matter happen on the last chapters. Everything else is a waste of time, pretty much. If you care about the overreaching plot, if you just care about looking at the characters, well, sure, but I personally don't. It's hard to write a good story without breaking status quo. Yeah, I know. But that's also Sun's fault, because you can easily do that, you know? I mean, it's not like it's I guess, writer writing for an already existing franchise that he doesn't own, and he tries his best to keep things the way they are to not upset the original writer. No, I mean, as soon as being the owner of the franchise, you can do whatever you want. And of course, it is his choice as the owner of the franchise to not shake the status quo, right? But that's your fault, you know, not my fault. That's your fault as a writer. And again, you can do whatever you want, especially being a doujin writer and not a commercial one. But you are not gonna see me praise you for your storytelling, that's for sure. You know? But yeah, that's the issue. Also, the problems the gacha have. Well, but here I wouldn't even say that, because you know that the Touhou gacha has multiple versions of the same character, right? So let's assume that, just to give a random example, right? Suika loses an arm, right? In a fight, in the manga. Obviously that will never happen, but let's assume that happens. Well, you could have like regular Suika as one of the characters, and then they release another Suika that is a one-arm Suika. Like, if anything, for the gachas that's even better, because they have an even bigger excuse to have more versions of the same character. I wouldn't say it's a problem, it's something that, you know, you can squeeze money with that very easily. You just need the wits to do it. But yeah. Well, to be fair, something like that happens with Kazen. Like something that alters her status quo. And if anything, that's something that added more to her character, and in case of the gacha, also gave her more of an opportunity to have different interpretations, you know? Well, I don't follow the gacha, so I don't know if that's the case, but I will assume that if they are not dumb, they will include multiple versions of Kazen that are actually canon, instead of like Kazen with a wedding dress, right? Which is a real thing in the gacha, by the way. Every girl essentially has a wedding dress version. But instead of that stupid shit, you could actually have a canon version of the character. That is different. So yeah. In that regard, I think that it's simply Sun being a bad writer and that's it. And it's fine, I mean, you cannot excel at everything. You don't have to. You already make games, make music, make character designs. You cannot be good at everything. But I never liked Sun writing at all, ever. When I was a little bit more innocent, I kinda thought to myself, oh, you know what? What's actually happening is that I'm not smart enough to understand this genius writing. Maybe when I roll some IQ points I would understand. No, the writing is just bad. And it's fine, it doesn't have to be good as I say. You know, the simpler answer a lot of times is the right one, and I'm pretty sure that's the case here. But I canonically married my Touhou wife, of course. But also another pretty interesting thing. For what I understand, the main character in the gacha is always a girl. You cannot pick the gender of the main characters. So if the characters, I don't know what happens in the story, but if the characters marry you, that's also making them all canonic, but not canonically, but I mean that it's making them all lesbians as well. I mean, that's kind of a running joke in the fandom, but the point is that they were talking about not giving a shit about the status quo. The gachas are not particularly known a lot of times for doing that. It's just that they conveniently ignore it whenever they see fit, obviously. But they can have a lot of additional side stuff that it's alongside the main one, and if it contradicts the main one, then the main one takes priority, obviously. But it's not like it cannot be there, right? It can definitely be there and coexist. But yeah. So this run is not going badly. I don't think it's gonna be a run that is gonna go anywhere, but at least as a run, it's looking okay. Looking fine. It's looking sweet. I don't expect to get it though. You never know. In the cutscenes, you're just gifting them dresses for whatever reason. Huh. Well, they technically wouldn't know that it's a wedding dress. Because Gensokyo is supposed to take place in Japan, and in Japan they don't use that specific wedding dress. Well, or rather it's not a tradition. And considering that they are in the past, they are definitely not gonna recognize it. So yeah, I guess in that regard, they don't really know they are... That you are essentially telling them, hey, be my wife. They are just like, oh, what a cute looking dress. You know? Or what are the flowers for though? You know, don't worry, the flowers are a gift too. Sumireko will know. That's true. Sumireko will know. I wonder what the dialogue is like then. I mean, I'm not gonna play the gacha to find out. I wonder what it would, because yeah, you're right, Sumireko is pretty much the only character that will know. Sanae too. Sanae, I'm not so sure, because for what I understand, Sanae, yes, she's a young girl that came to Gensokyo supposedly recently, but I think that she came to Gensokyo when the internet was still very limited. I mean, Mountain of Fate takes place in, well, if we're talking about real life time, it's 2007, right? There was already an internet there, and maybe she did see a movie like when someone had a wedding dress that looked like that, but theoretically, depending on how she had her lifestyle, it's still possible she wouldn't know. She's said to know a lot about manga and shit, so there's that. But I think there is the very small possibilities and I wouldn't know. It will be interesting to see what the games do. I mean, what the gacha. I mean, not obviously the official one. The official ones are not acknowledging that shit. That's for sure. I will piss a lot of people off, you know? Can you imagine if soon actually acknowledge a gacha-only event in an official game? You know how many people will be pissed off by that? Especially because, you know, a lot of people see Touhou as a Japanese work that is the exception to the norm in many cases. Like, it has an all-female cast, and it's one of the only ones that doesn't officially, you know, sexualize them in any way. So imagine if suddenly soon it's like, oh yeah, the gacha is canon, by the way. There will be a very big amount of people that will be very bad hurt. I mean, I will be one of them, but mostly because I think that gacha is trash. Well, I think most gachas are trash, but especially one involving Touhou, I'm obviously not gonna like it. So yeah. It will be funny. Like, I will at least give soon the acknowledgement that he did a funny thing. In Touhou 20 you can marry the character if you lunatic no miss no bomb. Which character, Reimu or Marisa? But in that case I hope Marisa is a good character, because there is no way in hell I'm marrying Reimu. But there is no way in hell I'm lunatic no bombing, no missing. But no way I do lunatic no bomb, forget about the no bomb no miss. So yeah. One of those, wow. I thought I still had iframes, and fuck you. Well, that's a shame. I still think it wouldn't have worked simply because of the final spell card, but I kinda threw a decent run away. But that's because these non-spells are really so fucked up, dude. Like, the visibility on these non-spells is so fucking dog shit. That really makes Battle Garega look like a visually coherent game, you know? It makes Battle Garega look like a masterpiece. Oh, that's a problem. I should have used release, because I think that I switched power levels so it missed all the stacks. Or maybe I lifted the shooting button. But regardless of what I did, I fucked up. That's the part that matters. So that's a shame. I might capture this one. Okay, so I did get the extend. That's cool. It's a shame that because of the beginning of the fight, this is not gonna go anywhere. Whatever. I still, like, look. I still think that it wouldn't have gone anywhere because of the winter spell card. Because for what I understand, winter is is not hard at all. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, Winter might be the easiest final spell card. If it's the one I think it is. But that doesn't mean it will be easy in itself, you know. It just means it will be easier than abominations like the spring one. That doesn't really mean a whole lot, you know. Yeah, and here instead of bombing I should be using release, considering that, you know, I won't be able to use release later. Whatever, who cares. Will I have enough meter here to release again? I will, yes. Correct. But I made it to the final Spellguard, you know? That's not bad. But is Winter the one I think? Yeah, this one is essentially, if my memory serves me right, the easiest final Spellguard. So if I hadn't fucked up on the first non-spell, this might have been enough, actually. But I mean, it's a way of saying, because being the easiest final Spellguard doesn't mean much when it's still hard. Can you imagine I capture it though? That's not gonna happen. Mostly because of the very final pattern. The final pattern makes this thing... Well, already the third one makes it annoying, but the final one even more so. I guess the visual clarity was good enough before. Well, I was close. If I hadn't died so much on the first non-spell, I probably would have gotten this. I probably would still be scared with all the resources and bomb like crazy. I most likely would have gotten it. But hey, at least that's something that I can have as a challenge for, well, whenever I decide to play this game again, which is not gonna be tomorrow, but hey, the idea will be, as I said, playing Touhou 17. I want to play Touhou 17 tomorrow. Try Lunatic 1 coin clearing with the shot types I don't have, well, with one of them, not with all of them, obviously. And then, well, the extra shouldn't be hard regardless, so yeah, the Lunatic might be hard to do. Differently from this game, even though it does have a lot of mechanics that can help you easily, I don't think it's gonna be that easy. But yeah, in any case, thanks everyone a lot for watching, and I'll be seeing you on the next stream with 17, so have a good one, and take care.